Stop scrolling right now, because what just happened around Kyle Busch has NASCAR fans asking questions nobody ever expected to ask this early. Not about championships, not about Childress Racing, not even about the playoffs. About Kyle Busch himself, because in less than 1 week, everything changed. A medical explanation, a family statement, a shocking decision involving the number 8. And now NASCAR fans are divided over one emotional question. Did Childress Racing make the right decision? Because what RCR just announced could change Kyle Busch's legacy forever, and some fans are calling it one of the most emotional moves NASCAR has seen in decades. Others, they're not so sure. Here's everything we know. The Busch family has now shared the medical findings behind Kyle's sudden passing. According to the family statement, severe pneumonia progressed into sepsis, leading to overwhelming complications. The family also asked for privacy while dealing with unimaginable grief. And suddenly, moments that didn't seem important before now feel much heavier. Just days earlier, Kyle Busch was still racing, still competing, still fighting at Watkins Glen. Reports suggested Kyle was dealing with sinus problems, coughing, and physical strain during the race weekend. At the time, most people thought it was normal. Drivers pushed through pain all the time. Kyle Busch built an entire career doing exactly that. But now fans are looking back differently, because what felt like a minor issue may have been something much more serious. And then came another moment. Fans can't stop talking about Kyle Busch won at Dover, one final victory, one final celebration. One final reminder of why he became one of NASCAR's biggest stars. Nobody knew at the time they were watching the last win. Then everything changed. Emergency details later revealed a frightening situation involving breathing issues and a rapidly worsening condition. The NASCAR world went from concern to shock. And then came the announcement nobody wanted to hear. Fans flooded social media. Drivers reacted. Tributes poured in. Because whether people cheered Kyle Busch or rooted against him every single Sunday, everybody watched 2 Cup Series championships, hundreds of wins across NASCAR. Driver fans argued about, debated, endlessly, loved, hated, respected. Kyle Busch didn't just race in NASCAR, he helped define an entire generation of it. But then Childress Racing made a move nobody saw coming. The number 8, not immediately reassigned, not handed to another driver, instead being held reserved. Savez for Brexton, Kyle's son. And instantly, NASCAR fans split into 2 groups. Some say it's the perfect tribute, a legendary number waiting for family legacy to continue. Others believe NASCAR should move forward, that numbers belong to teams, not individuals. So now NASCAR fans are debating one emotional question. If Brexton Busch someday reaches NASCAR and climbs into that number 8 car, would it become one of the most emotional moments in racing history? Or is that expectation too much pressure for an 11-year-old kid? Because right now, Brexton doesn't need racing expectations. He needs time. Time to grow. Time to grieve. Time to decide his own future. Kyle Busch built one of NASCAR's greatest careers, but his biggest legacy may never be championships or trophies or records. It may be family. It may be what comes next. And now NASCAR moves forward, carrying something heavier than point standings. A legacy one fans won't forget. What do you think? Did RCR make the right decision, saving the number 8? And if Brexton Busch races it one day, would that become one of NASCAR's most emotional moments ever? Nobody expected Kyle Busch to be here. Not like this, not a 2-time NASCAR champion. Not one of the most feared drivers of his generation, and definitely not a guy with 63 Cup Series wins. But right now, Kyle Busch is fighting a battle nobody saw coming. And honestly, it is getting painful to watch, because through the first stretch of the 2026 season, Kyle Busch wasn't struggling to win. He was struggling to survive. 27th in points, no top 10s, no victories, bad finishes, frustration exploding over the radio. And suddenly, NASCAR fans started asking a question that used to sound impossible. Is Kyle Busch running out of time? Because this isn't normal. This is Kyle Busch, Rowdy, the driver who built a career destroying race fields, the guy who could take an average car and make it look unbeatable. But now, the speed is missing, the confidence looks shaken, and inside Childress Racing, something feels broken. Because race after race, The problems kept stacking up. Daytona, hope, momentum, pole position for the Daytona 500, front row, big expectations. For one moment, it looked like Kyle Busch was about to remind NASCAR exactly who he was. Then reality hit. Hard, bad finish, more struggles. Then Bristol, spin, frustration, crew radio trying to calm him down. And Kansas? That may have been the lowest point yet. 4 laps down, 35th place. For Kyle Busch, that doesn't just raise questions, it sets off alarms. And then things got personal. Denny Hamlin publicly criticized Kyle's performance, saying people shouldn't be surprised, saying Kyle needed more from himself. Coming from a rival? That's one thing. Coming from someone who raced beside you for years? That hits differently. Then came Watkins Glen, and suddenly, this story stopped feeling like a normal slump, because late in the race, Kyle Busch got on the radio and asked for a doctor. Right there, during the race weekend. Simple message, clear message. He needed medical attention afterward. Fans listening live froze. What was happening? Was he hurt? Sick? Pushing through something bigger than people realized? Later reports pointed toward illness, a sinus cold. But the image stuck. Kyle Busch, one of NASCAR's toughest competitors, quietly asking for help. Still driving, still fighting, still trying to hold everything together. And maybe that explains why this season feels different, because this doesn't look like a driver who stopped caring. It looks like somebody fighting harder than ever, and still coming up short. Childress Racing already made major changes. New leadership, new communication, trying to stop the slide, trying to save the season. But NASCAR is brutal. Results matter. And right now, time is running out. Because Kyle Busch isn't just fighting for playoff points anymore. He's fighting something bigger: momentum, doubt, pressure. And maybe the hardest opponent any legendary athlete ever faces: time. Because legacies are not only built by victories, they're shaped by how the story ends. And suddenly, Kyle Busch's next chapter might become the biggest story in NASCAR. Kyle Busch just got replaced, and NASCAR fans think they know why. Not suspended, not injured, not sick. So why is one of NASCAR's biggest stars suddenly out at Watkins Glen? Because according to a growing number of fans, this isn't just a schedule decision. This might be a warning sign. And honestly, the timing could not look worse for Kyle Busch. Think about where he is right now: 2 straight winless seasons, 26th in Cup points, a 1-year extension at Childress Racing, and now suddenly Kyle Busch is missing a Truck Series race at one of the most important road courses in NASCAR, a track where he normally dominates. That's why NASCAR fans are going crazy over this story, because Watkins Glen is Kyle Busch territory. This is the kind of track where experience matters, aggression matters, braking skill matters, and Busch built his reputation, destroying people at tracks exactly like this.